I'm going to recognize my good friend from California, Mr. Doug LaMalfa, because he has to go tend to some other business, and I'd like to have his input on this, and he's a great leader up here. Mr. LaMalfa, if you would.
Well, thank you, my colleague from Florida, Mr. Yoho, a good friend here, my other colleagues here for allowing me the moment to speak here. I just am really excited about the opportunity of this new administration for relief for regular Americans from the Affordable Care Act. You know, I think the intentions maybe been good when it was passed, but we see the devastating effects from the many emails, letters, calls, the communications that my office has received from middle-income families that are ones that are the most negatively affected by this act. We've seen their premiums go out of sight. Their deductibles, they may not even need to have the insurance anymore because the deductible is so out of reach for them on costs. And so it means insurance means nothing to them. Indeed, with most Americans having health insurance before the ACA that they're at least reasonably happy with, they've had that choice taken away from them. They've had choices taken away. My wife and I were sitting there in December of 2013 being forced, you know, just like everybody else, to enroll in a plan with a broken website, trying to get it to go through. We knew at the time we were going to have big problems with that. We even agreed with the Republican conference when the president thought, well, when we were on the eve of this taking effect, the president decided, you know, maybe we need to have a one-year pause for this for employers of 100 people or more. Well, we agreed with that. We offered legislation because you're not supposed to just do that with a stroke of a pen. Indeed, it was duly passed legislation with all Democrat votes, no Republican votes, just a few short years before. We agreed. Let's delay this for a year, if nothing else, for those larger employers. But we also said, Mr. President, we should also delay it for everybody else because we know it isn't going to work. We know this is going to do nothing to curb costs. And that really is the bottom line. It's the middle-income families that I'm really worried about in this thing because we, again, have received so many communications from them saying, please help us. We can't afford it. We're putting off being able to buy a home because we're seeing these costs go up. We're putting off college savings for our kids because our costs are spiraling out of control. So if we do nothing else in this process, again, are we going to come up with the perfect bill? There's no perfect bill when you have this many years of the type of government takeover of health care that we've seen here. But we're going to do the best we can because it's those folks out there, middle-income Americans, that we're trying to help to bring relief from the ACA so they can go back to doing the priorities they see, having affordable insurance, doctors that they can choose, a plan they can choose, and being able to go off and do the things like saving for their kids' college, maybe buying that home that is part of the American dream instead of the American nightmare the ACA has been. So I appreciate my colleague again having this time this night and for allowing me to speak for a few minutes.
I thank my colleague.